calling it right now. Schwinn is the most famous bike company in the world. Although Schwinn became a shadow of their former self after the company was sold off in 1992, undoubtedly, Schwinn was one of the most influential bike companies. But there's an entire generation of youngsters, including myself, that doesn't have the same appreciation for that Schwinn seal of quality as, say, your dad, or your grandpa, or even your great-grandpa. And yes, there was a time where Schwinn used to be synonymous with quality. I know, hard to believe now that you can only find Schwinns next to the dead goldfish at Walmart. Although the original 1895 Chicago-born Schwinn is lost to the annals of history, relics of Schwinn's glory days of when they produced top-tier bikes are still ridden to this day. Now let's take a closer look at what exactly made the Schwinn name carry so much weight in the bike world with Alan Cruz's 1985 Schwinn Madison, from a time when Schwinns were still functional long after 40 miles. Speaking of bikes you should check out, a portion of this video is sponsored by Wabi Cycles. To learn more about the bike that I ride on a daily basis, stick around until the end of the video to learn more about them. Cycling legends from Major Taylor, the first African American to earn the title of cycling world champion during a time and within a sport that historians refer to as, quote, hella racist, to Lance Armstrong, arguably the most famous cyclist on the face of planet Earth, for better or for worse, to former President Reagan, to Pee Wee Herman himself, all rode Schwinns. Coming in at a close second in badassery next to Pee Wee Herman's 1940s Schwinn tank cruiser are Schwinn's track bikes, the Paramount and the Madison. Both Framesets were built to compete in one of the most grueling events in cycling history, the Madison event at Madison Square Garden in New York City, a 6-day event that stretched for 24 hours of each day for individual participants to race against each other to see who can complete the most laps for a hefty prize pool, no less. Proper rest, nutrition, and sleep be damned. The New York Times in 1897 described the Madison event as an athletic contest in which participants strain their powers until their faces become hideous with the tortures that racked them. The Madison is not sport, it is brutality. Damn. That's so metal. And from this fantastic contest of iron willpower and self-inflicted torture, the Schwinn Madison was born. Although this 1985 Schwinn Madison was created long after laws were modified that made the original rules of the barbaric Madison event illegal, it still has the DNA of bikes that were built to be reliable and bomb-proof. Perhaps literally bomb-proof, as Schwinn produced arms for the US military during the Second World War. The 85 Schwinn Madison has a tank-like construction, built with a dense but dependable straight-gauge Columbus 10-ax tubing and joined with lugs, the most durable way to connect bike tubes and standard on the vast majority of bikes of the time. That perhaps literal bomb-proof construction allows this bike's owner, Alan Cruz, to repurpose this 36-year-old iron horse with heft into a beater built for the present day. The handlebars are Nitto B259 risers, measuring in at a comfortably wide but still compact 50 mils, finished off with plush Vans Colt grips. And whether you're hauling a 36-pack of beer or 5 extra-large pepperonis, the Made in the USA walled pizza rack has got your carrying capacity covered. But most importantly, it gets compliments from fellow bike nerds when unloaded. That's a nice looking rack. Don't take that out of context. The bars are attached to a negative 17-degree Nitto Pearl 7 to keep the stem parallel to the top tube and lean into the bike's classic lineage, paired with a Tongay Falcon headset that just oozes vintage high quality. The saddle is a San Marco Conquer Super Corsa saddle in a double-take-inducing microfiber finish set atop a fitting Suntour Superb seat post. For the pedal setup, we have the wonderfully grippy MKS Sylvans, paired with CKC steel double clips and a set of well broken-in leather double straps. Driving the bike, we have a set of Sugino GLP 144 BCD track cranks, matched with a stock Sugino loose ball bearing bottom bracket, because these are from a time where sealed bearing components on bikes wasn't exactly widely adopted. The horror, I know. Up front, we have an all-city branded Andel track chainring in 47 tooth, and to make a reasonably spinny ratio for transporting aforementioned 36 packs of beer, we have an EAI Deluxe track hog in 18 tooth, fastened with an EAI lock ring. The drivetrain is linked together with an Azumi Eco Chain for smooth rolling over thousands of miles. The wheels are Mavic CX P21s, laced in a hardy 36-spoke to Suzu Promax hubs for stiff and bomb-proof wheel sets. The wheels are wrapped in 28C Michelin Dynamic Classics, which is actually a surprising amount of clearance for a track bike that comes from a time where skinnier is better on a bike. Call me a traditionalist, or even a hipster wearing rose-tinted glasses for the past. But it's always impressive to me when a product can be used for well over 20 years without issue, as most of the products on the market these days have this baseline level of jankness, finickiness, and unreliability. And these days it takes a lot of effort to find those companies that still make things the way things are supposed to be made. The fact that the Schwinn Madison was Schwinn's entry-level track bike and was still built to withstand anything the rider throws at it and more, and that this 36-year-old track bike is still in good service, outlasting the very company that built it decades over, that just puts a smile on my face. Although the legendary reputation that made Schwinn the most famous bike company in the world may be quickly fading into a distant memory, relics like this Madison should serve as a reminder for us youngsters that there was, and still is, a better way to build things. And if you want to have your bike featured in this almost weekly bike check series, be sure to check out the instructions in the description. And speaking of bikes you should check out, if you ever wondered about the bike that I personally ride on a daily basis, well, you're in luck because this portion of the video is sponsored by Wabi Cycles. Every one of Wabi's design choices are meticulously made to give the purest ride quality for the money, and Wabi executes those choices perfectly, handmade by master craftsmen in Taiwan in a friendly bike shop in Denver, Colorado, that is eager to answer your questions and get you on a bike that you'll love. Wabi's relentless attention to detail results in Wallace, my daily 58cm Wabi Special, weighing in at 17.5 pounds or 7.97 kilos straight out of the box. That's well under 20 pounds for a stock bike with a completely steel, lugged frame set and no carbon components. That attention to detail results in the best riding experience I've ever had, with a snappy, lively ride quality that only top-tier steel can bring. If you're looking for the bike that could very well put an end to your search for the perfect bike, check out Wabi, linked at the top of the description. And Fixie Fame shoutouts to Kelvin Ho, Zane Kolnick, OC Bike Crew, Ryan Witt, Stan Strong, 108, Julian Corona, David Clippins, Ellie Lovelace, and Justin Javier for helping to make these fixed gear videos possible through their support on Patreon. And remember that life is short, but don't make it shorter, so ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous.